Thea invents a highwayman at one of her first parties of the season, but she doesn't anticipate her coach getting stood up by one after the very same party. Jasper may have spilled on her dress in an effort to get her to stop talking, but he definitely didn't intend to inadvertently confirm her story. This Much Is True is the third in Vivienne Lorret's Liars Club series, and thank you to Avon for the arc. I was absolutely charmed by playwright Thea and highwayman Jasper, who is a little bit of Percy Blakeney at the beginning of the book, in the sense that he is vastly underestimated by society, and in fact his uncle, who he is technically his uncle's heir, but his uncle has basically put him under a conservatorship as we would consider it today, and spread it about the ton that he is kind of a bumbling fool. And Jasper uses this perception of him to his advantage in order to be a highwayman at night in an effort to target men like his uncle who are not doing right by their dependents. But this season throws him in with Thea, who is getting over a heartbreak from the previous season and is determined to make a match in this third season, only to have her heart stolen by Jasper. And this had a lot of emotional depth and stakes for our characters, especially with Jasper being someone who is not particularly well regarded by society, and there are very real stakes to his estate and ability or inability to build a life with Thea, as well as the emotional stakes that are at play due to his years of abuse at the hands of his uncle. And Thea is getting over a relationship with another playwright who has really abused her as well, really taken shots at her ability as a playwright. And because of this, her inspiration as a writer is really struggling at the beginning of the book, and Jasper helps her rediscover that inspiration. And there's a lot of emotional vulnerability with these two, and I appreciate the emotional messiness and that it doesn't shy away from that messiness. Now, there were times that I wish it had gone a hair more into both Thea as a playwright outside of kind of the climax of things, as well as Jasper as a highwayman. And while there's emotional depth throughout, I think the first half leans into the humor a little bit more, including reoccurring references to a puppet show explaining the birds and the bees that Thea's mother gave her as a child that has continued to haunt her and subsequently continues to haunt us as readers as a result. And then we kind of move in more in the second half to a little bit more of the angst and really kind of lean in to the realities of power and also the kind of exploration of the havoc that men like Jasper's uncle could wreak, and the way that Jasper has taken it upon himself to try to mitigate that harm. But in a lot of ways, sometimes overtly, this book is about overcoming narcissistic abuse from both sides. But this struck a really nice balance for me, and while I haven't read incredibly in-depth in Lorret's backlist, this is my historical romance kind of bread and butter, and I am very excited to swing back to the rest of the series.